What's up, danglers? And it's that time again. So we're just going to jump right into this week's What Not Finds. So where are we at here? What's our first one? Coach Gut. We were just talking about his Sometimers. You forgot about my channel. So this guy, sticking with, I think, the theme from the last video, is another griffin. But this is, if I'm not mistaken, a baby griffin, which would be my second baby griffin that I now own. And the color on this, the camera didn't do it justice. I didn't know how nice of a color this was until I actually got the bait in my hands. Alright. Let's see. This guy up. This little rubber band off here, which I do like. Prevents the hooks from moving around. So this is the baby griffin, and again, I don't know the color on this, but it has that reflective center, I guess you can say, or material in the middle there, so it really flashes when this thing's going back and forth in the water. I want to say it's something abalone or something along those lines, but holy shnikes, what a color, and I cannot wait to get this bad boy in the water. Now, I did actually just receive a line for my bait finesse setup, so I'll be getting that spooled up today, and hopefully you'll be seeing this bad boy on the water ASAP. So that is the Baby Griffin by Coach Gut. Another one that also has some really great baits that are out of box and ready to be fished. That's Purdy. We're actually going to leave that bad boy on the stand. Alright, put him there. Alright, so that was Coach Gut. What do we got next? What do we got next? I know this name. I know this name. Damn Justin. That's what it is. Damn Justin 5. So, I think we're going to continue on with our theme here with with griffins on griffins on griffins. I promise the griffins will be dying down shortly. So now this is a Grizzero, which you did see in the last video, but it is in the Viper Red color. Now, you've seen previously I was a Viper Red collector. I did sell my collection, but for the price I got this VR Grizzero, I couldn't help but jump on that deal. And again, that color red I think is going to be fantastic for this time of year. So as I've mentioned in past videos, here in northern New Jersey, we're I would say we're borderline in a drought right now. And I've really been wanting to go out for some smallmouth, but the river is basically a creek at this point. If I can get this open, that would be fantastic. Fort Knox on the Grizzero. It's a sign. Don't open it. Here we go. Okay. As I was saying, so with the water levels being really low, these particular baits, again, it being 0, meaning it's going to basically be a very tiny wake bait in a sense. So I definitely want things that are going to run super shallow, and I think this color in particular, with it being such a bright red, I think the smallmouth are going to love it. And along with that, it's got this, I would say this is a pinkish feather on the back here. So that's going to be perfect. Absolutely perfect. Beautiful. Again, you got that really nice crackle on the top there. I think along with my Pop Max that I have, or N-Pop X, this will be the only other VR mega bass that you'll see me fishing as of right now. Beautiful. So that is the VR Grizzero. And I believe we have another Grizzero. So if I remember correctly, the other one I had was in the Cicada. And this will be number 3. This is the Glitter Shad. So this is going to replicate a very small bait fish very well. Again, being a Grizzero, going to just kind of stay on the surface. going to replicate a little bait fish or a little bluegill. Beautiful bait. So again, this will work good for smallies, but I think, you know, and what's nice about doing the finesse end of things, it's more of what's the words I'm looking for here? You're more likely to catch a variety of species of fish. So I think this would actually work great even for some big crappie, some big perch, and even some big bluegill. If you guys actually checked out my recon challenge by Better Tackle Systems, I caught a pretty big bluegill on, I don't remember, it might have been the Karachi? I don't recall. Either way, it was definitely a very big bluegill, and it was a pleasant surprise. So this guy, I think, is going to be great all around when it comes to multi-species. But again, as much as I'd love to say bigger the bait, bigger the fish, that's not always the case. So it can definitely snag, maybe the wrong word to use, catch me some big bass. Beautiful. I'm so used to using that terminology when buying lures because I think it's funny. Maybe don't use that when talking about fish because snagging's no bueno. Alright. As I knock it over. I'm falling apart here, guys. Bear with me. Bear with me. Okay. Boom. Boom. And boom. Works for me. Okay. So thank you, Damn Justin 5. Alright. What do we got next? What do we got here? Size matters. That's what it is. I haven't gotten much from him lately, but he did pop on for the first time in a while, so I had to grab something, and that was none other than another, you guessed it, Griffin, but this is a 6cc. So you guys have seen these in the past on my channel. This one is out of box, but in a color I have not seen before or don't see too often, and I certainly do not own. So this is the Griffin 6cc. So this is kind of a lime chartreuse type color, or chartreuse in general. It's got those really nice bright red eyes, and then very loud rattle. So now these guys are definitely slightly larger than your normal SRX Griffin. And again, I think the 6cc has to do with the size and the sound, but they do make a silent model, which I just recently discovered, so I may have to keep my eyes open for that. But this is another Megabass 6cc Griffin in the chartreuse color. Beautiful. That is that. Thank you, Size Matters, or some would say Schmitters. Anywho, alright, what's next? What's next? What's next? What's next? What do we got? So this is actually from Raptors, Glides, and Tackle. So now this one, again, another seller with some really good out-of-box baits. And while we're sticking to the Griffin thing here, surprise, surprise, we do have another one. But this is in a very hard to find color and is a Griffin Zero. So I'll actually do a little comparison to the baby Griffin Zero along with the normal size Griffin Zero. I do need to add hooks, but if you know, you know. This is a Griffin Zero in the Midnight Bone. So this is going to work great, especially in kind of a little more stained water, but it does have that almost like blood red on it. Absolutely gorgeous bait. Again, very hard to find in a very popular color, let's say that. So all I got to do is add some hooks to this bad boy, and he's good to go. So we'll do a little size comparison here. So that is your normal, normal Zero, and then we have your baby Griffin Zero. So definitely a big difference in size, but same action. So that is that. We're going to actually set our VR right there. That boy up here. BEA, beautiful. Love it. Love the color. And again, I just got that big bulk order of treble hooks, so I got plenty of treble hooks to use. So this will be one of the first ones that I put some hooks on. All right, what do we got next? What do we got next? Who dis? Who dis? I'm losing track again, guys. I don't remember. Figure it out. Figure it out so I don't have to put some names up. What do we got here? What do we got? Ah! I do remember this. I just don't remember who I got it from. What we got? What we got? What we got? Let's see. This is why I love Whatnot. Video receipts. There it is. So this is from Dances with Fish. I love the name. So this is something that is brandy new for me and for the channel. And this may actually be a collector piece type thing. I don't know if I'm going to throw it. But this is the Megabass X-Dad. So it's a bottom suspend crank, so it's definitely going to run rather deep, but it's meant to replicate a crawdad, which is definitely part of the Bass's diet, especially here where I'm at. Let's see if we can finagle this thing out of here. So you know I'm not the best at getting these things out of the packages. Boom. So this is the Megabass X-Dad. Look at the detail on that. It's got the little antennae, the 2 red eyes. It is in the, what color is that? Pro Blue. So now, see if I get this right. I think it's right after a crawfish molts. Basically when they shed their shell, I guess you can say, they are a blue. So this actually is a natural color when it comes to crawfish at certain points in their lives. Whoa, so it's going to dive rather deep. It's also kind of got, I guess, a more of a weedless hook on the back here, so similar to like a frog hook. That is pretty. I don't know. I don't know. I may have to fish that. And again, for the price I got it for, it's even more tempting. So there are plenty of baits I will come across that most people probably won't think to fish. But when you get them for the price that I do sometimes, that would just even be retail, just normal retail price on something that you cannot find in stores that's no longer in production. If I can get it for retail, or even a little cheaper than retail, you bet your butt I'm going to be fishing that. So I may actually fish this. We'll see. But that is the Megabass X-Dad, brandy new for the channel and for me. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. As I drop it. Let's see, how does this go in there? I don't know. It's going like that. So that is the X-Dad. Beautiful. Okay. So thank you, Dances with Fish. What do we got next? What do we got next? So we got another one from, you guessed it, The Real Bill Dance, or I should say just Real Bill Dance. So we have seen these on the channel, I think just about every video for the last 2 or 3 videos, but this one is the first one that I have come across that's still in the box. So this is another Imakatsu Big Bats. So we have seen a few of these on the channel thus far. I did recently just throw one for the first time, and when they say the action on these is crazy, they are not exaggerating, and I absolutely love it. So I cannot wait. I was actually throwing the Waddle Bats, which is the smaller version of the Big Bats. So I can't wait to try the Big Bats out as well. This bad boy is in the Japanese color, but it is a chartreuse color with some blue on the back. Here, we're gonna open it. As much as I love this packaging, yeah. So again, what's special about this is, 1, it's a color I don't have, and 2, it's the first one I am ever seeing still in the box. So let's see. That is absolutely gorgeous. The blue on the top there, chartreuse on the side with some designs for like scales or markings on the side here. We got some orange on the belly. You got that crazy looking spoon or blade, however you want to look at it, on the back there. Wow. Amazing baits. Thanks, Real Bill Dance, for that hookup for sure, because I would say you alongside Mr. Lonesome Dove are the only two people I have seen with this particular bait. And again, first one still in the box. Beautiful. All right. What we got next? So this one actually has a custom lure in it, but I normally stick to one custom painter, and that's Blue Line Baits, which we do actually have something from him after this. So I tend to not really buy too many custom painted stuff, but this one I could not turn down because I want to do a special little Halloween display for you guys. So I wanted to be able to add this to the Halloween collection, I guess you can say. The other one from Blue Line Baits, which is going to be right up after this, is also Halloween themed. Just a little spoiler. But first, actually there's a couple things in here. Forgot about it. But first, we're going to start off with the giveaway. So this was just a followers giveaway. And what do we got here? We got a spinnerbait. Sweet. So this is a spinnerbait by H2OX. And if I'm not mistaken, it's in the fire tiger color, so good color. If I'm not mistaken, H2O is Academy Outdoors' brand. Academy Outdoors is a big retail store for fishing, sporting goods, etc., etc. I, however, have none of those around me, so that's pretty cool to get one of their spinner baits. This is, what we got? Gotta wait. 3/8 ounce, right in front of me. So 3/8 ounce in the Fire Tiger color. Did I mention who this was from? This is from Bear Anglers. Slacking here. So thank you, Bear Anglers. All right, so that's that. And then this is also new for the channel. This is, of course, a Mega Bass product, but also thinking back to my finesse gig, I guess you can say. We got a Mega Bass Hedgehog. This is in the 1.8 gram weight. And it's the, I don't know, small R jig. That's what we're going to go with. So this is a micro jig, so it's going to be great for finesse fishing. And I wasn't even aware that Mega Bass made these, so I had to snag this one. See, that's appropriate. Snag this one for a heck of a price from Bear Anglers. And to be honest with you, I don't know what I'm going to pair it with. Maybe some dice? Look at that little thing. Love the color. Again, going to be an amazing multi-species lure. I think crappie, big crappie, and even big perch are going to love this guy. So that is the Hedgehog Jig by Mega Bass. Sweet. Sweet, sweet, sweet. Where can we go here? We'll go right there. Okay. Now, last but not least, that custom that I was just talking about. Now, for you horror movie fans, I think you'll understand why I had to jump on this. And again, for the price I got it for, you're not going to beat it. So this is a custom spook bait. And it's got just about every, let's see if I can get this to kind of focus, every horror movie villain you could possibly think of. There's It. We got Scream. Elvira, Tales from the Crypt. That's that brings back memories. We got, here's Johnny from The Shining. There's Chucky. Yeah, just about anything you can think of. Michael Myers, and there's the hometown hero for me, Jason Voorhees. I do actually live in the town that the film was made or filmed, and about 5 minutes from the actual Camp Crystal Lake, aka Camp Nobibosco. Freddy, Exorcist, amazing. Again, stay tuned, guys. This is going to be in my little Halloween display video. And then we got help on the bottom. That's awesome. Thank you, Bear Anglers, for that amazing custom and also a great addition to the Halloween display. Sweet. Thanks, Bear Anglers. All right, so while we're on the subject here of customs and Halloween, so not too long ago, I acquired a knockoff Megabass Gong Jr. Now, I'm not usually one to go for knockoffs for many reasons, but when I saw this, I actually bought this knockoff Gong Jr. from K. Encila, I'm sure butchering that, 123. I will also be leaving his info in the description once I'm done with this video. But I picked that up with the whole intention of actually sending it to Blue Line Baits and having him custom paint it for me. With that being said, the theme I wanted to go for was zombie. So ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this is the custom painted Gong Jr. by Blue Line Baits. Look at that paint job. He hit the nail on the head. That is exactly what I wanted. So we got the rotting flesh. We got that silver on the top, which is beautiful. We got some blood dripping from the forehead. And those zombie eyes. The bright yellow in the middle there. Red around it. And then we got some more blood on the belly here. Absolutely superb paint job by none other than Blue Line Baits. Make sure you go check him out on Instagram and his Etsy page as well. Amazing paint jobs and great prices. Thank you, Blue Line Baits. Now, this will also be in my Halloween display, but now I can't decide, do I want to fish this? Do I? I don't think so. But it's tempting. Beautiful. Thank you, Blue Line Baits. That needs a stand. I'm slacking on stands again. Oops, I did it again. Okay. Did I actually? No, I didn't. Slacking here. So let's get this guy moving and grooving here on the stand. All right. So I saved this last one for last for a reason, and it's because a lot of the things that are in this box, or I would say a good chunk of them, or some of them, maybe one, I don't know what I'm talking about, haven't actually been on the channel. But, again, another great seller who had a bunch of out-of-box baits by Megabass that you don't see very often. And these particular baits you'll actually see in what's known as coffin boxes. So they come in like hard plastic cases. I unfortunately don't have any right now. And generally you don't want to open those. You want to leave them closed. They're collector pieces. But some James just so happened to have a bunch of these baits out of box and ready to be fished. So, where do we start? Let's start with, we'll start with these two, just because they match. So, I don't think I've had any on the channel yet. I don't remember. But, one of my favorite colors by Megabass is Akatora. So it's basically orange version of your Matte Tiger, which, you know, let's say your Matte Tiger is very close to, let's say, this guy was the closest thing I have in front of me. So he had some baits that were in the Akatora color. Again, this is more of a reddish orange color. Perfect for this time of year. And he had, let's turn this guy off. Not one, but two baits in that color, and the first one being the Megabass Anthrax. Now, the Anthrax, I would say, is a very shallow running crankbait, borderline wake bait, probably more of a wake bait, I would say. But what's unique about it is how it's designed. So I'm sure you'll notice something funky about this bad boy. Not just a beautiful color, because again, the Akatora colorway is one of my favorites when it comes to Megabass paint jobs, is you'll notice this is upside down. So you got your bill basically on the top of the head. You also got this dorsal fin here, or fin, that's going to move back and forth and create some more vibration. But when I tell you, and I have fished these a couple times, the action is phenomenal on these baits and becoming one of my favorites very quickly. And when I saw this guy pop up in this color, there was no way I was turning it down. So this is the Megabass Anthrax in the Akatora color. Oh, right in front of me. So that's that, right? So we'll get that boy spinning around. Now, right after that, or maybe right before that, I don't remember, another bait in the Akatora color popped up, and this was in the, I remember, XJ100. So this is also, I would say, a wake bait, very shallow running crankbait. But wait till you guys see this. I mean, this is insanity. Knucking Futs is what it is. So this is the XJ100 in the Akatora color. So this guy is jointed. It is smaller than the Anthrax. It does have the jointed fin up here, but it also has this jointed tail back here. It is metal, so it's very reflective, and of course also going to add some vibration. Sticky hooks. Let's see, let's get this. So that is the XJ100 in the Akatora color. Gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Love it. So, again, two baits that are very hard to find, out of box, and in this shape. So let's stick with, alright, so we got two more of the Megabass Anthrax. Just some different colors. So that's the XJ100. Alright, now back to Anthrax. So we're just going to pull both of these out at the same time. So again, the fact that he had so many of these out of box and in these particular colors, I couldn't walk away. So we got two more Anthrax. This guy is in the, if I'm not mistaken, PM Perch color. Or definitely perch, regardless. And we do have quite a few perch in my area. And I know even the smallmouth love the perch color. So that's in the perch. Let's see here. Hang this guy up. There's that. And then this is something IU. So it's definitely a very popular color with Megabass. They actually make a lot of their baits in this color. We're just going to go with IU. So I think that's going to replicate a bluegill very nicely. So we are all stocked up on Anthrax, thanks to Mr. Some James. Just that. And then last but not least, this one is new for me and new for the channel. So this is, we got the Vision 100. So you've seen my Vision 110s, which is the staple when it comes to jerkbaits, I think, just in general. But they do make a Vision 100. So I would say this is basically an Anthrax, but reversed, but basically going the right way. So instead of it being upside down like this and the bill being here, it's the other way around. Now this guy I would say is probably going to definitely dive a little deeper. See, this is more on like a 45-degree angle opposed to a 90. But again, we also have that tail on the bottom there, that fin, to add some extra vibration. So again, I am super stoked to try this one because it is the first one I am ever holding in my hands, and I had no idea that they made a Vision 100. I know they make a 95. I guess just about every increment of 5 they make. So that is the Vision 100. Thank you so much, Some James. And guys, please do not forget to check out all of these awesome sellers on Whatnot. Don't forget to use my code for American Traditions. It's going to flash up right there. And yeah, don't forget to subscribe, hit that notification bell, drop some comments, hit that like button, and please stay tuned for my future unboxings and hopefully actual fishing, because I've been slacking on that and just unfortunately haven't had the time, and again, the water levels and blah, 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 blah. So yes, I, along with my awesome whatnot finds, will catch you later.
Yes, indeed. They call me Mr. Greed worldwide. And I'm blackout.